Hello crafters, this is Jane Fires, Independent Fun Stampers Journey Coach, and today I want to show you another box that can be made with our scoreboard. Just as a reminder, this is our Journey mini catalog, and everything in here is now available until the end of December. And as you can see, there are not only stamps and things, but there are also a lot of ideas of cards and different things that you can make. Today we're going to do a Christmas box, and this will be the box that we're going to make. And this is the new inspiration catalog, and it's the new catalog that goes until June of 2019. And in it, as you can see, it's very colorful. We have some new colors in here, as well as lots of new stamps and dies. And so this book can also be ordered off my website. The things for our little box today that we're going to use are a Hostess exclusive Frame It die set, and on this I use the rectangle because you'll see it has two different rows of stitching which are very unique. And then I also used again our gift card slider, and you'll see that because that's inside with the gift card. And then I used our bloom cluster die today, and I used it in red last time. This time I'm going to use it in our mirrored gold. And then as you can see on the box, we're going to use our pine cones as well as our tree branches, our Christmas tree branches. And that's in the die set Branches and Cone, and this is a brand new one in our catalog. And then our words that we're going to use that you can see on here, Merry Christmas, comes from this stamp set, Holiday Joy. Now it is a straight stamp set as it looks here, but as you can tell, I just took it and I sort of made it a little wavy, and that's how I stamped it. The cardstocks that we're using today are our mirrored gold, and as you can tell, it's really gold. Our cranberry apple, our 12 by 12 because of our box size. Our kiwi slice, again, the 12 by 12. And then, of course, my very favorite new tool, our scoring board. And remember, when I turn the scoring board over on the back side, I can pull out my little triangle. On one side, I have envelope sizes and a box envelope, so I can make them any size I want to fit any type of a card. I turn it over, and here are all my box sizes. Now, besides these, remember, you can make your own, and I've done that, and I will show you that in a later video. The other thing that's neat is our score tool comes right here. It's right in there, and it will hold in there. When I'm not using my measure, I just slide it all the way over and in, and it fits in my triangle shape down here, and they stay in. They're not going to come out. So that is another neat thing. Okay, let's get started. First thing that I need will be my scoring tool. Now what I did is I showed you in the last video, I make up sample boxes, and on each box I put all my measurements so that I know exactly what I need. So for our box today that we're making, I've already made my lid. So I have the lid already completed. So today we're going to make the bottom, and my box size is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 1 1/2. My paper size is 10 1/4 by 9, and that is for my bottom of my box, which of course today is what I'm using. And then for the bottom, I need to score it at 1 1/2 and 3 all the way around. So I've already cut my paper, and I've scored all but one side. So on the one side now, I'm going up here to 1 1/2, scoring, going over to my 3 and scoring, and now my complete box is ready to put together because it is all scored. So I can lay my scoreboard aside, and now I just simply need to fold my box. Now as you can see, I have it folded. It's a little hard to see on the video, I know, but now I'm going to take my Pro scissors, and I'm going to cut off what I need cut off. So on this one, I need all of my ends on all 4 corners totally cut off. So I'm going to cut all of these off. And usually once I cut them off, because I like to get my corners cut first, then I go back and I cut in wherever else I need to cut in, And I also cut in my little triangles. So now I have all 4 of my corners cut off. So now I need to cut in on my next set, on my second score line in. But now what I'm going to do also is I'm just going to cut triangles everywhere that I have cut in at on my strip. And I do that simply so that when I put my box together, it goes together easier for me. So here I go, cutting all my triangles. Go to the other end, cut in on my second score line, cut my triangles. And this is my last score line I have to cut on. And so again, cut my triangles. Okay, so now my box is totally ready to put together. So what I'm going to do is turn in my 2 sides and then bring up one of my ends. Turn in the other side and bring up my ends. And then turn down my 2 long sides. So that now the bottom of my box is ready to go together. And it can go with my top now. And as you can see, it fits very snugly. And obviously that's what I want. So now to decorate the top. I already have our top die cut and stitched, the stitching marks on it. I hope that you can see those, at least a little bit, because they really do show up when you look at the box. So this one, I am going to take my medium foam squares and put one in each corner. Take my backing off. And center it on my box. So there's my little stitched rectangle. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is take the little tree branches that I die cut out of the die cut set that I showed you, which is the pine cones and branches, and get it adjusted where I want it. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is take my die that I cut out of the mirrored gold. Now you're going to see when you do this that you're going to have they look like little hairs, and what they are fine little lines of gold, because our mirrored gold is real gold. So you're going to get that, and you just have to sort of pull them off if you don't like them on there. I think they look kind of cool, but other people don't. And so with this one, I don't need the whole branch. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to cut it right here. So now I have 2, and I'm going to lay that piece right there. And I do want one more piece, so I'm going to just cut this one right here. So now I have this piece, and I'm going to lay that piece over there. Now you're going to say, well, you haven't glued anything down. You're right, I haven't yet, because what I'm going to do is when I put my pine cones on, they're going to be popped up. So I'm going to lay this and get the front of it adjusted where I want it. Needs over just a little more. All right. And then right here in the middle, I'm going to put a pop dot. And on top of here is where I will put my one of my pine cones. Now, the other thing that I do, once I know exactly where I want that part laid down at, I will take a glue dot and come under one of my little berries and put a glue dot. And this is another reason why I like our glue dots, because they come individually on papers, so you can put them where you want them, and you don't have to worry about it getting somewhere else. So there's that one. I'm going to do one more glue dot on the other side, right over here. Oh, let's put this glue dot right down there. Peel off my backing, and there it is. Okay, so I've got that on. Now the next thing that I need to do is to put my pine cones on. And remember, I told and showed you the other day when we did this with our pine cone one, that our pine cones only have the outside. It doesn't have the dark part. So what I do is I cut my pine cone with the color that I want, and then I glue it down on a darker cardstock, and then I fussy cut it. So here are my 2 pine cones right here for my project today. So now what I'm going to do is take the backing off of this one and lay my little pine cone right there. Then I think I want a little bit of my pine cone also popped up here at the front of it. So I'm just going to lift it up, and again, instead of using one of the small foam squares, I use the medium one, and I just simply die cut it. I just cut it out. I cut them in 4s. That's what I like about the medium ones, because you can cut those any way you want to. Okay, now that I know I have all those things where I want, I'm taking one more glue dot and putting it down behind my branch. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And I do it now because I know my big pine cone's going to go here, and I know that everything is going to be fine, and I'm not going to have any glue showing or any of my foam squares showing. And I know now that exactly where I want my glue dots at. So now I have my big pine cone, but this one is going to be popped up right here. And so what I do with it is I take another big glue dot and another one that I have cut and put it at the very point. Peel off my back and adjust this pine cone right there. So there's my box so far. Now, the other thing that I'm doing is putting on my words. And I showed you the words here, and this is how I do my words. Even though this is straight, you can sort of maneuver it. And so I did it on here, and I just made my own little curlicue thing. So on the back of here now, again, I've cut my foam squares. And I put one on each end and one in the middle. Peel off my backing and attach my Merry Christmas. Now, one other thing on the top that I need is I wanted to put a little piece of ribbon. But I thought the ribbons that we have were too wide, the red. So instead, I'm using our red thread. And I am making a 3-looped bow. Now, really, they're not hard. I just use my 2 fingers, and I'll show you that again. I hold my thread down here with my thumb and my 4th finger, and then I just wrap them around. Make it here as wide as I want to get my 3 loops. And then I cut my end. I bring it up and I put it between my 2 V's, my 2 fingers where that V is. I bring it back to the front and go underneath where I just put it through my V. And then I just pull it right there. And you can pull it tight and take it off your fingers. You can then adjust your bow the way you want it so that your little bow parts separate, your little loops. And then what I do is I take one of our glue dots and I fold it. And I fold it into 4ths. I put that on the back where my knot is, peel my backing off, and I put it where I want it. And then I can trim up my little threads to where I want those at. And there's the top of my little box. Now again, this box is going to be a gift card holder. So what I have done is taken our gift card slider. I cut 2 of them out, one in green and one in red. Now what I've done is I've taken the red and just cut the bow. And so now what I'm going to do is glue that one onto my green. So now I've got a red bow. It will now go into my box with my gift card. And I haven't glued it in yet because I need it to dry once I glue it. So it will go in there like that. Then I can put my candy in, put my cover on, and I have another gift card holder to give for Christmas. Again, everything that I've used in the project today, you may find it on my website at www.funstampersjourney.com/angelhugs. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at Serif, S like in Sam, ERIF1 @AOL.com. Hope you've enjoyed. Have a great and blessed day. Thank you for watching.